Hi, we're here with the cast and showrunner of iZombie. How are you guys?
Great.
Very excited to be here.
Awesome.
First
Love it
interview
here.
of the day.
Oh, wonderful. So, are you guys excited for Comic-Con? This is not your first go at the Comic-Con, right?
No, this is, I can't even count how many I've done now, but
I've done
remain
3,
excited.
so they're still on one hand, and I'm very, very excited.
Same, 3.
Okay, so what have you learned in 3 cons?
Wow.
To carry flats around with you in between wearing heels. So wear heels for interviews and immediately change into like hideous flats in between because there's a lot of walking here.
Don't go to the parties the night before all of your marathon of interviews take place.
Yeah, that's the big one. Don't party the night before Comic-Con.
We learned it the hard way, I guess.
Definitely.
Excellent. Well, I have to ask about the last episode this season, the Rob Thomas reveal. I mean, how long did that take? Did you guys know about it? When did you read the script? Tell me everything.
Rob Thomas and I have been in touch via Twitter for a long time because we get each other's stuff all the time, and we just kind of forward it to the other person. And he's always been very friendly. And in the room, we were talking about initially that there should be a Supermax jingle, and the idea of could we get Rob Thomas to sing the Supermax jingle just to make things weird. And I just direct messaged Rob, and he was down with it immediately. And then we thought, well, what if he played the Supermax release party? That would be even cooler. And really, Rob was on tour in Australia at the time, and but he responded within the hour. And what I didn't realize, and this was the best part of it, was that he's a fan of the show. And in fact, when we sent him the script to the finale, he said, "Listen, is it okay if I don't read this yet? Because I want to be caught up with. I don't want to be spoiled on anything that's going to happen." I'm like, "No, you're going to shoot this before those other episodes, so I'm afraid there's no other way. You do have to read this
And
script."
by the way, he wasn't just a fan; he was like a fan of the show, and it was intimidating because I thought I was like, "Oh my god, we get Rob Thomas on the show! This is so great! How nice of him to come and pop his head in or whatever." He showed up. Him and his wife knew every single plot point. It was so intimidating. I'd sit down; they would know like Liv's backstory better than I did, and I was like, they'd ask a question. I felt in the hot seat. I was like, they're like, episode 201, what exactly did you wear? Like, why did you choose that outfit? And I was like, it was the scariest interview ever, and it was Rob Thomas, the super fan.
That's amazing. I mean, that reveal when they start singing the song, did you know right away this is what we have to do, or did that come to you organically? Because that is just a wonderful burn and joke. Slow burn.
We were in the writers' room breaking that final episode, and one of the big ideas of Veronica Mars, God,
Isn't his first Comic-Con.
one of the big ideas in iZombie is if a zombie eats the brain of a human, that you get their attributes. And when we landed on that idea in the writers' room, that these Fillmore Graves mercenaries would be singing Rob Thomas on the way out, it made us so happy. And then it was just finding the right song, and we thought Unwell was sort of the perfect song to go out on.
And by the way, the actor who had to sing that was the scariest thing. I mean, the poor guy, he did a great job, but he was terrified. Rob is lying there with like his brain, like gelatin brains falling out of his skull, like, no, you go, you do this one. And the guy's like in front of the artist, like, oh.
Oh, that's amazing. I hadn't even thought about that. That's intimidating.
So this is the harshest audience you're ever going to have.
And you guys kind of kill it on the music on the show. I mean, let's be real. How often do you get that theme song stuck in your head?
We still sing it.
We sing it every time.
When we live tweet and we're watching, it's I think it's one of the best intros I've seen on television in a long time. That the intro's dying, right? Like that kind of idea, and iZombie just gets you in the mood.
Yeah, outside of Kimmy Schmidt, which that one is pretty amazing.
Oh, and that Marvel one about the blind dude, the rival. That
pretty
intro
good
is
also.
quite good.
But I think if there were an Emmy award for theme song choice, we would get a nomination. I think for that. Yeah,
definitely.
The first year we were here at Comic-Con, I remember I had landed on that song, and I was very excited, and I had our music editor cut together like a 23-second bit of it, and I was handing like my earphones off to each cast member saying, "What do you think of this? What do you think of this?" And it went over pretty big.
It was one of the most exciting parts in the pilot where it felt like things came together to me. For some reason, it just really, it so felt like the show. It felt like it solidified so much.
I wanted a Rick Ross song, but
He was
that's
fighting.
why I'm not a showrunner.
You
Yeah.
were fighting for Careless Whisper.
Well, also, I have to ask you guys, there's a character that won't be returning next season, Minor. Are you going to miss him? Was it fun working with him? Or is it a her? I'm sorry.
Oh, well,
It's a him.
It is most
It's
definitely him.
Yeah.
Funny
In
you
fact,
should ask.
But part of the problem with Minor was trying to find an angle that we could shoot him in which we weren't showing off what a him he was. In his headshot, we did not see his manliness, but we sure saw it when we started shooting the show. It was tough to get a good angle on that dog.
How many times do you have to cut and be like, cut the dog?
You know what? It's funny you should say that because it was quite tough. It's a very specific look, that dog, and so he was really lovely, but
No,
he
he
wasn't he wasn't the most well trained dog.
I didn't like that's my biggest show falling out was.
There behind the scenes
dog.
drama between you and Minor?
Yeah, well, the thing is like you don't realize when you're working with animals, like it's the first time I'd worked with animals, and so you've got like all these little gadgets on you. So the scene is that Ravi sees Peyton, sees the dog, and then when the dog comes in, he then sees Peyton, and I'd been thinking all this stuff about how's he gonna feel when he sees Peyton. And yeah, I've got this bleeper on me so the dog can hear. I'm holding raw chicken in my hands. I'm trying to play this scene with Ali, and this is just going bleep, bleep, and the dog's just going mental. Yeah, we didn't get on. It wasn't.
But luckily you got on much better with the rats.
No. Oh, God.
I think
You couldn't have picked a worse thing.
I want to get RSPCA with a flag on this guy.
Yeah, it's a celebrity feud. It's huge.
That's one thing we had no idea. If anyone watches the evolution of iZombie, at first it was Ravi handling the rats and doing all the rat work. We had no idea how much Raul did not like the rats, and so the evolution, like it's always Liv now holding the rats, and Rose will let them crawl all over.
They're on her
it's
neck
no
and stuff
problem.
like that.
Don't cheapen me. I play hard to get.
Yes, we have to build in a little extra Raoul time if they're rats.
Rat handling,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
big
yeah.
days.
And I'm all right with that. I'm from London. Rats are like mutants in London. Like we're scared. I'm not domestic or not. I don't know. I can't be messing with rats.
Are there any animals you do like?
Oh no.
Yes, that's not true.
What?
He oh wow, you've really
Cats.
turned on a dime. He wanted to get a hairless cat and call it Rose.
Oh yeah. Rose doesn't like cats. She hates cats. So I now love cats. I want to have all of them, all the cats.
So contrary.
I'm starting to see the dynamic behind the scenes, and it's very enjoyable. This is fun. Well, I have to ask a few teaser questions. I mean, you introduced a whole new crop of people the very last episode. How are they going to impact the next season? Do you guys get to work with them a lot? I assume.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to replace energy drink company Max Rager with a military contractor company called Fillmore Graves, and we will go anywhere with our names. That is true, and we'll spend a lot of time with that group. They are a zombie outfit bent on protecting zombies, and Rose and Major and
Rose?
I'm sorry.
Who are you today?
Liv and Major and Clive will certainly be very wrapped up in the Fillmore Graves world. And then we'll have there are going to be other, they won't be the only bad guys this year, but it's one of the things that we like to do on the show is build each season as if it's its own contained story that we are going to build to an ending. And this year we know that there are going to be 13 episodes, which is it's much easier to plan when they sort of give you a number. Last year it was going to be variable, and and so it's hard to plan out those last few episodes. We sort of jammed 9 episodes worth of story into our final 6 last year when we found out we were doing 19. So this year we know we've got a plan, and it should feel like a new iZombie story.
And Rose, are there any zombies that you are keen on playing in the new season?
You mean brains that I want to eat or whatever?
Yeah, brains.
Oh, yeah.
Anything to do with zombie?
Yeah, there's a few. There's a couple. We can talk about the father-daughter. I'm very excited that in episode 2, Liv and Major will be eating the brains of a father and daughter, Liv eating the father and Major eating the daughter. So
I didn't know that. That's the first time I heard that. That's
really?
awesome.
I'm spoilers galore. I just got sent a nasty text from him about any spoilers coming out.
That's fair game.
That's fair game. Okay. Well, you heard it here first.
Well, thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.